Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Tuesday, December 14th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern. Just a couple of heads-up things for people is that the new Fulmina product of ours is not the new technology. So I think people are getting confused. It is not the new technology. And I wanted to make another phenomenal heads up for everybody. Our group has discovered and has implemented an application, very simple, through one of our inventors' technology that will eliminate the graphene oxide and a hydroxide in the body, in other words, little razor blades and as well the graphene oxide, and will make them inert and allow the body to flush them out. That's a spectacular news. So no formulations and no huge involved protocol or anything. And if you want to know about that, then that'll be on the Friday Reverse Aging Health Call. This will save many lives. Many lives. So I'm very excited about that. We are flawless, all of us, like a diamond. So radiant and perfect in every way. Our diamond-like self is divine pure awareness that is forever shining within the very core of our being. Our essence is perfect. And yes, perpetually flawless. And every crack and crevice that we think we see is just another doorway to God. There is not even space for one single flaw inside any of us anywhere. It is perpetually shining, always brilliant and turned on, never turned off. An eternal light of awareness. Let go of any thought that is covering up this brilliance and all the disbelief that says we are separate from it. And remember, we are this infinite nature. We are a spiritual being living in these human forms. We are not just an ego and all its complicated, limited beliefs, patterns that were imposed upon us. This brilliant radiance is truly, honestly, in reality, what we all actually are. Ready to enjoy the light radiating from your perfect diamond-like self? Are you? There's only one block to enlightenment. One. If you do not have mastery of your mind, you cannot know the mystery of existence, Yogi Bhajan. If you do not have mastery of your mind, you cannot know the mystery of existence. There is only one thing which will delay our enlightenment. There is only one place that we can hide, where the enlightened state cannot find us. As long as we keep doing this one thing, we will always stop bliss from entering our being. This one block can be the hardest or the easiest thing to change. It all depends on our willingness to surrender. Do you know what that one block is yet? It is remaining lost in your mind, living up in your head, and never stepping back from the mind and its massive thinking machine. It is remaining lost in your mind, living up in your head, and never stepping back from the mind and its massive thinking machine. If you never stop to give your mind space to rest, its thinking routine can only persist. If you are always paying attention to the thoughts in your head, You can never relax deeply enough to know the experience of freedom from thinking. I want you to sit with this for a moment and really let it soak in. Did you know that? Thinking creates less consciousness. No thinking, being, allows pure consciousness to enter. Thinking creates less consciousness. No thinking, being, allows pure consciousness to enter. By dropping thinking, we attain this effortless universal awareness and fall into the highest levels of ecstatic consciousness. What more could we want in this life? The experience of thinking is what separates us from entering a cosmic state of being. It really is that simple. When we let go of the head, we drop into the heart and instantly open up to this universe, which is full of amazing possibilities. Thinking always takes us away from the light of consciousness, the source of divine intelligence that is emanating from the core of our being right now. You have to participate relentlessly in the manifestation of your own deep eternal loving. Elizabeth Gilbert. When we are living life from our neck up, we are only believing in the mind's version of reality. We remain imprisoned in ideas and cannot know the divine source from where all thought originates from. The ego is what causes us to think we are separate from divinity. It says that you are not worthy of the divine, and we usually believe it because everybody else believes it too. The mind holds tightly onto old beliefs, morals, ideologies, traditions, grudges, and this holding pattern makes us think that we are not free. Being free of the mind is true freedom. It is resting in source and relaxing into this pure consciousness that we already are. The moment we can liberate ourselves from the incessant chatter and dialogue in the mind, we are instantly happy and free. The mind can no longer continue bothering us with its never-ending list of demands, needs, and desires. It cannot because it has found something much bigger, better, and more satisfying to explore. It has discovered the God source is within itself. Its true nature is divine. The instant we realize all life forms contain this infinitely creative divine energy, we can also see, feel, and know that same source within each and every one of us. The best thing about freeing our minds is that it takes no effort whatsoever to do it. Thinking actually takes a lot of effort. And if you just relax, you start resting in the heart instead. You can fall into the heart at any time and any place. Just meditate on being unfocused. Don't let the mind focus on anything. And the moment it does, bring your attention back to your heart. Anxiety cannot be dissolved through thinking because thinking itself is a sort of anxiety. Osho. Remember that entertainment is an all or nothing experience. Remember that enlightenment is an all or nothing experience. Either you totally surrender the ego mind or you don't. It's not in between. It's not halfway. Either you totally surrender the ego mind or you don't. There's no 99% surrender in the land of enlightenment. The mind is either absorbed in the self or the ego is still running the show. In every moment, anything can happen. We all know that. Meaning, we could suddenly swing in either direction. We could instantly swing into the enlightened state and suddenly stop paying attention to the mind. And in the next minute, we get completely consumed by a memory or some thought of the future. To fully drop the mind and surrender to the source of pure consciousness is actually a super simple no-brainer. People want to complicate it. They say, oh, that's a toughie. How do you do it? But just put all of your effort into having no effort. Put all of your effort into having no effort. Enlightenment does not come from having the right thoughts. The great divine flash of enlightenment that all the gurus talk about did not just happen from thinking enlightening thoughts. If we possessed the right thoughts to become enlightened, then our enlightenment could be taken away when those thoughts disappeared. Enlightenment is something that cannot be taken away because it is your natural state of being. The divine intelligence that is your very essence. Our hearts are where enlightenment lives and where it can be found. So the real question to ask ourselves is, what am I doing that blocks me from living in my heart? What am I doing that blocks me from living in my heart? Well, what are you thinking about? How often are you in silence and have stopped thinking? Clinging to thoughts is the number one issue people have. Dwelling on any thought takes us away from the pure presence of our enlightened nature. It's that simple. Clinging to thoughts is the number one issue people have. Dwelling on any thought takes us away from the pure presence of our enlightened nature. It's that simple. Just by noticing your thinking patterns, bringing awareness to them, you start to enjoy the play. You start being this big, bright ball of luminescent conscious light. From here, we can easily let any thought come or go, and our brilliant, beaming, loving essence shines through. Dropping the mind is easy. It only takes a slight shift in perception. I invite all of you to ask yourselves one little question. Every morning when you wake up, ask, what does it feel like to be completely free from my thoughts? Ask yourself this. What does it feel like to completely be free from my thoughts? Now, what I mean by this question is that any typical thoughts you tend to have about your life, body, money, relationships, sex, spiritual beliefs, expectations, judgments, etc. Who would you be if you were totally free from these thoughts? What would you feel? What would you feel more intimately connected to your heart? Would you feel that you were more intimately connected to your heart? Would you feel more free, open, alive, and joyous about your life in the here and now? Who would you be if you were totally free from these thoughts? Would you feel more intimately connected to your heart? Would you feel more free, open, alive, and joyous about your life in the here and now? Ask yourself this question for the next 3 days and see what happens. First thing, before you open your eyes in the morning, what does it feel like to be completely free from my thoughts? And there's all these thoughts, we all have them. Typical thoughts that we all tend to have about our life, our bodies, our money, our relationships, our sex, our spiritual beliefs, expectations, judgments, and etc. To have this enlightening experience, we must choose to devote ourselves 150% to fully being free from our thoughts in each moment. It doesn't mean that the mind is always empty. It means that you become the watcher and the witness of them, and you stop identifying with them as who you are. You don't allow the thoughts to dictate your experience of reality. You practice letting go of every single thought that arises, noticing if you are attached to any of them or are avoiding any of them either. Is there an idea or memory that you feel is more important than this all-intelligent, divine, magical, universal presence? If so, then that thought has become your God. Is there an idea or memory that you feel is more important than this all-intelligent, divine, magical, universal presence? If so, then that thought then becomes your God. The self is like the screen, and the world is like the picture on it. You can see the picture only so long as there is a screen. But when the screen or the seer himself becomes the screen, only the self remains, from Rana Maharishi. When we all let go of the mind, we become one with everything. From here, we can welcome everything that is happening within every experience of our lives. This welcoming practice makes existence feel very sacred and intimate. We realize that each of us, each person, place, and thing is actually filled with divine energy and the same all-intelligent consciousness. So you end up bowing down to life everywhere you go. Bowing down to life everywhere you go. Everything becomes enjoyable because you never have a problem. You're always enjoying your connection with Source, which is always in the here and now. Whatever you focus on and give attention to becomes your God. This is how we make, invent, and create our reality in each moment. What are each of us giving our energy to right now? We can give energy to anything. We can give it to the fear of paying our bills on time. Or we can give it to the joy of paying our bills on time. Whatever we dwell on becomes our universe. Some people dwell on needing money. Others dwell on lack of love. You decide. It's always up to you what you make your God in this world. Some people make their God money. Some people make their God hatred. Some people make their God love. It goes on and on. If you want to become enlightened, then you will need to learn how to master your mind. This starts with the practice of dropping the mind and being in a state of perfect stillness and peace each morning. To start your day with a peaceful, quiet mind allows the rest of your day to unfold in that direction. Before you even open your eyes. It takes a lot of focus to be completely unfocused. Yet after just a bit of practice, each of us will see there is no need to hold on to any thought, for each thought simply comes and goes, like the clouds passing through the sky. The divine experience of our infinite selves is like realizing that we are the entire infinite sky. When we think we were just a bunch of stormy clouds, Self-realization is always so much more amazing than anything the mind can imagine. Self-realization. One of the best ways to conquer the head is to bring your awareness down into your heart. The best way, one of the best, to conquer the head is to bring your awareness down into your heart. By bringing your attention to your heart as often as possible, you open that energy center, which is the source of love, compassion, and awareness. By meditating on your heart for 20 minutes in the morning, will itself cause you to move closer to the enlightened state. By meditating on your heart for 20 minutes in the morning, will itself cause you to move closer to the enlightened state. An open heart brings a quieter mind, where you easily find this delicious divinity inside. So for the rest of this week, I invite everyone to stop their minds. Ponder what the state of no mind is like. What would it be like to be without thoughts? Be careful, because with enough curiosity, you may suddenly drop the mind completely. The enlightened state tastes divine. And when we take the time to fully explore our inner world, we will soon discover that we are not alone. We are not this mind, and that we are the master of these thoughts, not the slave. Do you notice how all thoughts come and they go? We all know that. They come and go constantly, incessantly. Now, we stay permanently. Thoughts come and go while we stay permanently. We are forever here now. Realize this and surrender your attachment to your mind, your ego, and its agenda. Release any grip your mind has on any thought and be one with every atom in this universe, in existence, and beyond. The battle is over if you are no longer fighting with it. The continual thinking head has to surrender when it's faced with the heart. It cannot win over the powerful, loving presence from below, the heart. The sense of doership is bondage and not the actions themselves. Be still and know that I am God. When stillness prevails, there will be no agitation of the mind. Agitation of the mind is the cause of desire, the sense of doership and of personality, or the personal sense of I. If that is stopped, there is no eternal peace and bliss. Ramana Maharishi. The great secret to entering this enlightened heart state is to begin with feeling your deepest, most emotional feelings, which you can find inside. Whatever it is, a feeling of joy, gratitude, appreciation, love, or anger, sadness, grief, apathy. Whatever it is, negative or positive, it does not matter. Just be real and honest with yourself. You cannot lose. Just stop and feel what is really going on in your life. Don't think about it. Just feel into it completely and see how everything changes. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we care to do, relax our bodies. This is the beginning. Relaxing one's body. Get to the point where you're in a relaxed state 24/7. And then dropping from the head to the heart, is like a blink of the eye. These bodies aren't us. We are not the personality. We are not the character. We are not the name. We are not the clothes, the status. We are the God within these bodies. We power these bodies. The God's omnipotently powerful. We power these bodies. So the bodies sustain us as we give the bodies energy to do so. You see? Do you see how things are connected? Eventually this civilization will discover this. And once it does, it will then begin to expand itself. It will know that it can immediately heal the body. It will also know that all things are connected. And then at that stage, the ego mind will vanish. And we will not be thinking. We will just be. These bodies absorb a lot of things. Everything, as a matter of fact. Hatred, anger, greed, deception, dishonesty. I mean, all of it. And it's interesting because most of the thoughts that we carry on our subconscious mind, aren't ours. The tens of millions that pass by us like clouds in the sky, aren't ours. They're programs. But when we don't know who and what we are, we embrace these programs. We embrace these thoughts as our own. Remember, when a thought comes in, it isn't yours. When you generate a thought, you send it out to the universe. You send it out. You don't pull it in, then send it out. You send it out. And the universe responds. You're the universe is you. You're the God is you. And not being attached to our thoughts. Crucial. Easy. Drop into the heart. Body will relax very quickly. You drop into the heart. But in the head, tension, stress, fear, and anxiety, worry, hurry, revenge, all kinds of things. But in the heart, pure bliss, complete serenity, love, joy, peace. And that's how the body relaxes. We drop into the heart. Body begins to relax because guess what? We aren't attached to our thoughts. Sometimes you might say, that's not my thought. You'll get good at it. Believe you me. You'll just be walking around the course of your day and you'll go, that's not my thought. And it'll vanish. You're always gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself. And in the highest of the deepest eternal gratitude 24/7 with yourself. That combination is spectacular for any of us if we choose to embrace it. The love that we are is limitless. The only limits while we're in these bodies that we make are the ones on ourselves. We're saying, oh, that's not possible to do that. That's the ego mind. The sense of doership is bondage, and not the actions themselves. Be still and know that I am God. When stillness prevails, there will be no agitation of the mind. When stillness prevails. Agitation of the mind is the cause of desire, the sense of doership, and of personality, or the personal sense of I. If that is stopped, there is no eternal peace and bliss. All the things that we've been taught through thousands of years, lies, to keep us from knowing who and what we are. That's why our bodies are so stressed. That's why we're constantly being bombarded with all these different thoughts. And most of us don't even know this, that we're the masters of all. And when we understand that, then we choose to drop in our natural state of being, in the now, in the heart, in peace, in bliss, in joy. We are not thinking. At all. Not one bit are we thinking. On not one bit are we attached to thoughts, because when you stop thinking, you don't have thoughts. That's our natural state of being. That's when the body truly is in bliss and relaxation. When we stop the thought, the body relaxes. All of it kind of just melts off. You might see them passing you by. Oh, that fear. Okay, yeah, right. Oh, look at this one. But you won't be interactive. You just let them flow right away, fall right off. And when we know that the body is relaxed, because we know we're in the heart, we can look inside. It's like you're walking around in your dwelling and you're looking all over the place, right? You notice things because you never looked before. And in these bodies, we have chakras. They're lights, different colors, 7 of them, roughly, from the base of the spine to the top of the head. Now, chakra means wheel. So these are wheels of light. They're etheric spiritual energy. We, the gods that we are, in the bodies, are etheric spiritual energy. So we flow through these. Not only that, we're connected to everything in these bodies, right down to the quantum quark. We know, as the gods that we are, we know everything about these bodies. We know how they function. We know when they're in harm. We know when they need to be fixed. And we're the masters of that. We can do that. Now, we know that we are gods, pure consciousness. There's a lot of labels. We are pure consciousness. We know that when we enter these bodies, we power them. We are omnipotently powerful, immortal beings, endless existence. Everything comes online. The body is earth. The gods that we are heaven. Heaven is not a place. Heaven is you, each and every one of us, the gods that we are. The kingdom of God, God's source. It is us, each and every one of us. So, heaven on earth, consciously aware, which means that we know this through our heart minds, we are of and from the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love. And every step we take on this planet is paradise. We are creating it, literally. Know this in your heart mind. See it in your heart mind's motion picture. Experience it. Very easy to do. And constantly remind yourself to drop out of the head into the heart. And you'll know it. Anybody would know it. We also shine our light. We don't shine it inward. We shine it from in to out, 365 degrees. This is a white light that's nothing that you've seen on this planet. This sun with this planet is like a dim light compared to the light of the gods that we are. It's really, seriously, like a dim lit candle. And we shine that 360 degrees. You might, through the heart mind, not the head, as you're walking around, blast everybody. Just flood them all. All life. The highest supreme values in the universe. Blast it everywhere. Blast it on trees and, cats, dogs, everything. Watch what happens. You're not in the ego mind, so you don't have expectations or attachments. You do it because it's your natural state of being. So if you were to take a trip off the planet and you got out far enough and you saw the planet in its entirety, you would see that it glowed. And you would see all the lights around this planet and this universe would be like dim lit candles in the dark compared to its brilliance. That's reality. The illusion is not seeing it at all because it's seen through the ego mind. And through the ego mind, that doesn't exist. Now we know that we, the gods that we are, have parts of us that are asleep. We know this. It's not a secret. We also know that other parts of us are awake, consciously aware. Now, the parts of us that are asleep will wake up when they choose to. But our attention is with the parts of us that are awake, consciously aware. That's all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. In the Guga plexus. One Guga plex fills this universe with not even 1 square inch of sacred space to spare. These come from trillions of universes and trillions of Guga plexes from every direction. With us now, as parts of us, we as parts of them. This is the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes, the ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua, the off-worlders, the galactics, the celestials, all of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited, all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth, the light energy beings, this planet. With the eyes that we have with these bodies, we only see 1% of what is. We don't see infrared spectrum, light spectrum, or UV light spectrum, or the interdimensional light spectrums. But we are familiar with just a small portion, and part of it we interact with on a daily basis. Fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur. The rest, shapes, color, sizes, forms, configurations, they're there, but we don't see them. Now, the archangels, they're a civilization that vibrated at a different frequency than we do. But the gods within their physical form are no different than the gods within our physical form. Now, we meet them, we interact with them, we have for lifetimes. But it doesn't mean we always know it. You know, there's times where we do and there's times that we don't. Not a big deal. But there are times that we do. And through the heart-mind, you stay in the heart-mind, you will notice them all the time. You stay in the head, very rarely will you ever notice them. But as we do interact and speak with them, it could be a random conversation, a passerby, or a helping hand. And when you do identify, it's usually when they're not there. They're gone. They disappear. And they have the same message, but it's delivered in so many different ways. Some of us miss it, depending on if we're in the ego mind or the heart mind. And isn't it absolutely magna glorious to be alive in these bodies? And it is. When you feel what it's like to be in these bodies. Taste, touch, smell, smile, laugh, cry, frown, eat, swim. I mean, look at all the things we can do in these bodies. As gods, we don't do that. We're a ball of light, omnipotently powerful. We don't eat, we don't drink, we don't sleep. Now you can see why it's so seductive to be seduced into these bodies. And that's why so many get so attached and think they are the body. Now, they can surround any one of us at any one time, tens of thousands, tens of millions. Because of their vibrational frequency, they can house a large number in a small area. And if you want them to, just ask. In a blink, they'll be all around you. And you'll be in bliss through the heart-mind. Now, the Ascended Masters, they have mastered physical. They've ascended into physical. They've mastered physical. They've ascended out of physical. They hold pure consciousness, God form. We have ascended into physical. We are mastering physical, and we are creating our experiences to perfect our creations. Now, the off-worlders, the galactics, the celestials, over 1,000 species travel through this solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. We are familiar with a small group: Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, feline Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avian. This particular group has been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. We're all gathered. And what I mean by that is that parts of us could be 1 billion light years away, yet we're one. Feel that. See that through your heart, mind's motion picture. Know what it is. We're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one. And we're all God and we're all love, and our God force love light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond and forever, and it continues to intensify and it continues to expand. We immediately form a circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This circle of light emanates from the God source, the kingdom of God, the heaven, you, all of us in these bodies. It is so bright that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It would take 1 billion trillion suns to even come close to its brilliance. And we're flooding this planet. On it, in it, above it, and below it. Saturating all life, the highest supreme value in the universes. Feel that through your heart, minds, motion pictures. Feel it. Now, we begin to ascend above this planet. As we do, we're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. It's flashing everywhere. And the best way to describe it is a magnificent, spectacular fireworks grand finale display. A super massive laser light show and a ballroom globe, mirror globe, that we're all familiar with. Except this one's 1 trillion times larger and 1 trillion times more intense, reflecting all of this light all over. We're curious, so we go to the source of reflection. We notice these little tiny microscopic mirrors, we enter them, and we discover that all of us, in all existence and beyond, are learning and teaching and learning from each other, the gods that we are. So the life is in a physical form on this planet. And the forms are endless. And if each form, no matter how it's housed, there is something for us to learn. And in other forms, there is something for us to teach. So we're either students or teachers or students, or both. Always. It doesn't matter if it's a bug on the rug and you just sit and stare, watch it as it maneuvers itself. Fly on the wall. Look at your dog and cat. If you really realize it through the heart mind, you're learning. They're teaching us every day. How many times have you often wondered about your pet? Is the pet teaching me? Truly. I thought I was teaching the pet. Well, you are, but the pet's also teaching you. Life is sacred. It is housed in an enormous amount of physical forms. Not necessarily all the forms that we're used to, but none the same. Life is housed in many different physical forms, and life is sacred. And we bow to the life of all beings, the life within, the God. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created that reminds us all we are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is the column of light we created to remind us all of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column of light we created to remind us all that from head to toe, inside and out, 24/7, infinity, we are protected. We always have been. We always will be, ever beyond and forever. This light emanates from the God source, the kingdom of God. You, me, all of us. It is the deep, pure, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. Can't be harmed, can't be seduced, doesn't weaken. Nothing like armor you would see on this planet. Way beyond that. No dark matter, lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. No demon attachments, no possessions. They can't. See, they can't. They'll vaporize. They can't hold their shape, their form, their existence within our vicinity at being at a high vibrational frequency. So they stay away. Some of them won't listen and will get so close they will vaporize. Always protected. Yet, only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequencies low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, through hatred, greed, anger, fear, anxiety, hurry, worry, dishonesty, manipulation, revenge, you will lower your vibrational frequency low enough to create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. And if you do decide to do this, you are immediately met with a double column of light. The first part of this column is the purple transmuting flame. This column reminds us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all this lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are no more. The second part of the column is the violet ray. We created this part of the column to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame, cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies once were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is the column of light that we created to remind us all, the gods that we are within these bodies, that we are the sun, the sunlight, the sunrise, the sunset, the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams, the trees, the forests, the soils, the animals, the sky, the clouds, the mountains, the rainbows, the rain. We are everything, and everything is us. So the next time you do see a sunset or a sunrise, or a snowfall, or a mountain view, or an ocean view, or a starry lit night sky, a rainbow, it is you. You're the divine. You're the perfection. You're the beauty. You're the spectacularness. It is you. Always has been. Always will be. Ever, beyond, and forever. You see it, and instead of saying how beautiful that is, you were saying that is the God that I am. And it's broadcast through the heart-mind. That rainbow is the God that I am. I am divine perfection. I am the only thing that doesn't change. Everything else does. We continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us step outside our physical form and hover effortlessly above it if we're carrying physical form. And why do we do this? Well, because we can. We're immediately met with this crystalline light tower. It is massive. We created this tower. It's larger than the solar system and beyond. We notice that in the center of the column is an oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is this massive golden white bowl of light. Now, we notice that it's surrounded by numerous rings of multicolored lights, all shimmering. And it creates this super white vapor, misty cloud with electrical and sparkling and shimmering, and it's absorbed within us through the heart. It's like a warm embrace that never ends. Now, the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. And then comes gratitude, peace, well-being, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, tranquility, benevolence, great prosperity, great abundance. And we discover that all of it is a reflection of the gods that we are. Now, at the top of this crystalline tower, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, infinity, always, as it's doing right now, flooding us all, on, in, above, and below, this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This is the deepest of the deepest, deepest, purest of the purest, purest, highest of the highest high, eternal love, flooding this planet. We are all drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. The golden ocean is the drops of the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere at set center circle. We created this sphere, moving towards 4 years ago. It holds all of our meditations in perpetual motion. These meditations don't disintegrate, weaken, disappear. They do the opposite. Over 1,700 of them every day for almost 4 years. All of us gathered, hundreds of millions of us on and off world. On this little planet, on the outer rim of the Milky Way galaxy, for its total liberation, expulsion of all dark lower frequencies, all dark matter, lower frequencies, survival frequencies, no matter where they may be hiding or harbored. They can no longer exist. We're flooding and saturating this planet. You want to plug into those meditations collectively through the heart-mind. In an instant, you'll be there, being bathed in all of them. Just for today, practice accepting everything about yourself. Accept that what you like, don't like inside you. Just feel what it is to like, to stop fighting yourself, and accept whatever you see and feel represents you. This is through the heart-mind. Remember, whatever you have trouble accepting is here to awaken you even more to your own brilliance. Everything happens for a divine purpose and is meant to push us towards a more enlightened state of being. I'll join you in the meditation. Return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. The self is like the screen and the world is like the pictures on it. You can see the picture only so long as there is a screen. But when the seer himself becomes the screen, only the self remains. Maharishi, watch yourself today very closely for any negativity you encounter, a serious negative emotional pull. Imagine a red stop sign jumps out in front of your face. Stop buying in to the dramatic story of this negativity and step out of the game. Become aware of pure awareness itself. This is the secret to always burning through the limiting illusions and games that our minds play on us. Commit to taking all that negative energy and transform it into creative love for yourself by simply choosing to through the heart-mind. You can do this right now, this very instant. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. We will return here Wednesday, December 15th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern to continue our Global Guided Meditation call, and 9 p.m. tomorrow night to continue our Time for Change call.